Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel or my TikTok if you're viewing this on TikTok. Today we're going to be talking about power of faith over demons, alright? And I'm going to be reading a quick story that the Lord brought me to about a boy who became possessed back when Jesus was here on earth. He became possessed and by a demon who made him unable to speak, okay? But I'm not going to go into far about it right now. I'm going to, of course, share my thoughts about it after I read the short story. And yeah, so let me just start reading from my Bible. All right. So it says at the beginning, before the story starts, it says, the power of faith over a demon. It says, when they came to the disciples, they saw a large crowd around them and scribes disputing with them. All of a sudden, when the whole crowd saw him, they were amazed and ran to greet him. And they're talking about Jesus, right? Then he asked them, What are you arguing with them about? Out of the crowd, one man answered him, Teacher, I brought my son to you. He has a spirit that makes him unable to speak. Wherever it seizes him, it throws him to the ground and he foams out of the mouth, grinds his teeth, and becomes rigid. So I asked her disciples to drive it out, but they couldn't. It says he replied to them. So Jesus replied to them, You unbelieving generation, how long will I be with you? How long must I put up with you? Bring him to me. So I just want to interrupt that really fast. Jesus was, I can only imagine, how he felt, because there was the people, of course, that they knew, a God existed, right? Because of the prophets before, that God put stuff on their heart and spirit and in dreams and visions. But when he came to them and said, like, I'm the Son of God, God lives through me to everyone, and he was performing these miracles. He was making blind men see. He was making, people who couldn't walk, like all types of stuff, right? Making dry bones come to life. So they thought he was a witch. So they thought he was a warlock, a witch, or a demon. So they would call him, a demon, possessed, all types of stuff. So that's why he said that. I don't want anyone to read that, like hear me read that and be like, oh, that seems very, judgmental of him. But you have to understand, Let me take a breath, guys. So he said, bring him to me. So they brought him to him. When the spirit saw him, it immediately convulsed the boy. He fell to the ground and rolled around, foaming at the mouth. How long has this been happening to him? Jesus asked his father. From childhood, he said, and many times it has thrown him into fire or water to destroy him. But if you can do anything, have compassion on us and help us. All right. So what I'm thinking is that this is just what my intuition's telling me, and what God's kind of speaking through me right now, that this person, this father, this family, they probably didn't believe in Jesus. They probably didn't believe. They were probably among the people who were iffy. Maybe they kind of believed, but they were iffy because it was a bizarre thing probably to believe back then, right? So anyways, something tells me that he was amongst those people, but he seeked out Jesus because he knew what he was doing. He seeked out help because he knew what Jesus could do. All right. Sorry, I lost my place, guys. So he said, have compassion on us and help us. And then it says, then Jesus said to him, if you can, everything is possible to the one who believes. Immediately the father of the boy cried out, I do believe. Help my unbelief. Come on, Holy Spirit. He said, I do believe. Help my unbelief. Okay, you guys, so that just, I forgot, I've read this before, but I forgot it said that. So he probably was, like I just said, iffy, on his faith. So he said, help my unbelief. When Jesus saw that a crowd was rapidly coming together, he rebuked the unclean spirit, saying to it, You mute and deaf spirit, I command you, come out of him and never enter him again. Then it came out shrieking and convulsing in him violently. The boy became like a corpse, so that many said, he's dead. So the boy, come on, Holy Spirit. The boy was, he was out. They thought he was dead. The crowd was saying, he's dead, he's dead. They thought that the demon who was possessed, who had him possessed, killed him, like had him dead, right? It said, many said, he's dead. But Jesus, taking him by the hand, raised him, and he stood up. After he went into the house, his disciples asked him privately, why couldn't we drive it out? Right? So they're wondering, why couldn't we rebuke it? Why couldn't we drive out the spirit? Because these are disciples of Jesus, right? And it says, and he told them, this kind can come out by nothing but prayer and fasting. It says in like the little boxes, it says and fasting. All right. And I need to do a video that goes more in depth about fasting, because I myself, I don't really understand it. I haven't really looked into it. And I've came across a lot of videos that I probably should have clicked on and learned about. But you guys, this just goes to show. He says this kind can only come out by prayer. And I'm feeling the need to say this. Belief, guys. He's talking about faith over demons, right? So when you believe, when you have faith, you are putting a shield over your life. That's why the people who do believe, they are shielded from certain types of evil. And the people who don't believe in anything, they are targets for a lot of evil things of this world, right? All types of demons, all types of spirit. It says in this one, it was a deaf spirit. But there's many types of spirits, guys. There's the Jezebel spirit, which is the spirit of lust. There's all types of evil, disgusting spirits. But it's talking about faith. So simply when you have faith, you have so much spiritual power that you could never know on this earth. In this life, you'll never know. If you make it to heaven, you're probably, you have eternity. It says it says many times you have eternity to learn the stories of the Bible. You have eternity to learn, it's really amazing, you guys. You have eternity to learn about the people in the Bible who went through these things, Daniel in the lion's den, right? Moses in the wilderness, all types of stories, amazing stories and legacies by these creations of God, our ancestors who we are descended from. And I just think that's so cool, because you have eternity to, of course, learn their stories. You have eternity to